Okay, so hello and welcome to our Boost Your Wellness session. I am Sophia Potente from The Natural Switch, and today we're going to be talking about our daily routines and how we can make some simple tweaks so that our days feel a lot calmer, we reduce our stress, we feel more energy, as well as sleep better. And I'm really excited that you're here because it feels like the perfect time for us to be talking about our wellness. Well, obviously this has been a really testing year, and I think many of us have been reflecting on how we're living, how we've been thinking and feeling as well. And I think with any challenge, it's a great time to look at what's working in our life and what isn't, and where can we make some changes. So I want you to think about these coming months now that, the kids are back at school, we're going back to work, things are opening up, we're moving into winter. It's a really great opportunity to start fresh and create a better normal for ourselves. Okay? We don't want to go back to normal because I think that wasn't working for a lot of us. We want to actually create that better normal. And I think the last few months has really been a reminder that health needs to come first, not just our physical and our emotional, okay? So we'll be talking about some daily habits, some tweaks that we can make, and how including essential oils in our routine can help us to get there. So there are two groups of you here today that have booked for this session. About half of you are completely new to oils. So this is going to be a really great introduction, okay, on how you can get started and how to use them. And the other group is those of you that are in my existing members group. And so I want you to think of this as a refresher, and it will help give you some ideas about how you can include them in your routine, because it's with the consistency that we're going to see some changes, okay? Now, I have a question for you first. Does this sound like a typical day to you? Okay, and so can you say yes to any of these? Do you start your day on autopilot and just kind of react to whatever happens that day? Whether it's, your kids screaming for breakfast, an email that you got first thing in the morning, or whatever it is. Do you find it's really difficult to just get going and, maybe you're dragging yourself out of bed, or you can't focus or concentrate during the day? In the afternoon, is that when you have a real energy slump and you're just kind of reaching for sweets and anything that will keep you going? Or at the end of the day, do you find yourself feeling really overwhelmed or stressed or exhausted? Or maybe it's at nighttime and you just have trouble switching off, or you're waking up during the night. Or have recent months really been getting you down? So maybe you've been feeling really anxious or worried about your immune health. And I think all of us can say at least one to any of these, okay? Particularly the last one. And so if you've said yes, you are definitely in the right place. Okay, so today we'll be talking about why oils are a really powerful tool to help you with any of those six things we've just gone through. I'll also show you 3 ways that you can use them in your day. And then I'll walk you through an example routine and what it can look like and some habits that you can create. And at the end, for those of you that are new here, I'll show you how you can get them into your home, and I have a special gift offer as well. Okay, but if you are new here and we haven't yet met, just a little bit about me. So before I began The Natural Switch, I had spent 14 years in health research, in mental health, and in cancer prevention. So you might think that I was kind of the picture of health, but the reality was actually kind of the opposite. So over the years, my weight has gone up and down. I struggled with polycystic ovaries. I had really bad acne scarring, and my moods were just all over the place, constantly craving sugars. And I just felt very disconnected with my body. And then when my son came along, he was really our wake-up call. So, the first year of his life, we spent in and out of doctors' surgeries, in and out of hospitals, and he was heavily medicated for severe reflux. Okay, and this wasn't just any old reflux that they grow out of, it was constant, and I just felt like he was constantly screaming that first year of his life. And then we were introduced to a holistic doctor who really just changed our paradigm and the way that we think about well-being. And so using 3 different protocols, if you like, we changed his diet, we introduced different natural remedies, and we also reduce chemical exposure in our homes. Okay, so using that, we were able to wean him off his medications. He's now a really healthy, happy little boy, and we really transformed his gut health. And so this really opened our eyes, as I said, to a different way of thinking about well-being and looking at it more holistically. And so what started with my son has really flowed on to help our whole family. For myself, those issues I mentioned earlier, they've all resolved. And if they do come up to some extent, I have tools in place and habits in place to be able to get back on track. And that's what really this is really all about, okay? Because we're going to deal with different things that are going to come up in our lives, right? But it's just important for us to really feel empowered and have habits and things that we can do to get back in control. So what did we learn from this experience? Okay, so my first wake-up call is that we actually have the power to change, all right? So often we think it's normal for us to look, I'm just not a morning person, or we think I'm just a terrible sleeper, or I have a sweet tooth, or I've just always got aches and pains, and we think that has to be our normal. But the reality is we don't need to accept feeling this way. There are lots of things that we can do to change the way that we feel. The second thing is all those little steps and those little habits that we're doing during the day, they really all add up, okay? So we don't need to change everything in our lives. We can just start with one, and it really has that ripple effect to create better habits later on in our day. One thing really leads to the other. And the other thing that really blew me away is that plant medicine actually works, okay? I won't lie, I was very skeptical when we went to see this doctor and she gave us all these herbs and essential oils and various natural remedies. And let me tell you, my son was on 4 different medications at adult doses. He was destined for stomach surgery. He was on a waiting list for stomach surgery. And then using this holistic approach in 4 months, we were able to completely turn things around. Okay, so it really opened my eyes to the possibilities that these create. So I have a question for you now, and it's how do you want to feel? Okay, I want you to think about what your ideal day looks like and how you want to feel each day, right? So for myself, I want to feel more calm in my days, also more joyful. I want to feel more ease, and I want my day to go more freely, okay, rather than rushed and jumping from one thing to another. Maybe you want to feel more energy or feel focused. Maybe you want to feel more grounded, okay? And we can all feel this way, okay? This is all totally possible for us, right? But I've got bad news and I've got good news. The bad news is we're not going to feel like this all of the time, all right? So things are going to come our way. There's going to be problems. There's going to be challenges in our day that really test us, all right? But I think part of the human experience is having all of these different emotions. But what's important is that we've got tools in place that we can bring ourselves back and I guess better cope, okay? And bring ourselves back up to here. And I think, you know, if you were here in this webinar, you're probably already pretty health conscious, okay? And so you probably already know the things that we need to be doing, and we just don't do them for various reasons. Okay, so we know we want to be nourishing our brains and our bodies with good food. We want to be managing our stress and have coping tools and strategies in place for that. We want to be getting our 8 hours of sleep. We want to have great relationships and somebody to talk to. And we also want to be moving our bodies regularly. And if we're doing all of these things, it's more likely that we're going to have really great days, okay? But I'm not here to tell you what you already know, okay? What I want to do today is show you a hack and a way that can bring all of these together and make it a lot easier to practice these habits. And that is essential oils, and which are a lot more than a nice smell, okay? And that's what I used to think about them as before I started to use them. So let's look at what oils actually are. So if we take this lemon and we smell the compound, we smell that lemon, what we can smell is actually the essential oil, that beautiful citrusy smell. There are tiny little compounds in that lemon that are protecting that lemon from pests, from bacteria, from funguses, from the weather, okay? They have an immune system just like us. And we have been using plants for their health benefits for thousands of years, all right? This is nothing new that I'm sharing with you here. Okay, I think we've just kind of forgotten. And as we drifted to modern medicine, which is amazing, we drifted to modern medicine, we've forgotten that much of it has actually been derived from nature. So if we look at where aspirin came from, it comes from the bark of a willow tree, the constituent within that. You know, antibiotics, penicillin comes from a fungus. Cannabis oil, we know we can now get a prescription for it. Okay, so we've just forgotten how powerful nature can actually be. And so for us, you know, both of them have a place, but for us, oils are a really a first resort for our everyday well-being and just those common things that come up in our family. All right, so I want you to think of them as a tool in your toolkit to just enhance what you're already doing and making it easier for you to create those habits that you want to create. All right, so I think of it as a catalyst in our health journey. What I love about them is they are super affordable. So you'll find just one drop actually has the same amount of menthol as 28 cups of peppermint tea, which is amazing. All right, so how can we use oil? So there are 3 ways. We can smell them, we can put them on our skin, and we can also take them internally. All right, so if we think about smell, we've all experienced how smells can really change how we feel very quickly. Okay, or can bring back memories. So maybe there's a certain dish that you reminds you of your grandma's cooking, and it just brings back memories for you. Or maybe there's a certain spray of perfume and it reminds you of somebody. Or maybe you're like me and you love the smell of coffee. Like, I smell coffee, I'm like, oh, that makes me feel really good. Okay, so, and I think it's a great example of how smells can really shift our mood very, very quickly. All right, and because the reason for that is it's actually changing our brain chemistry. When we inhale an essential oil, that is sending a signal to the limbic system of our brain to shift the way that we feel. So it controls our emotions, our hormones, certain biological processes in our body as well, all right, and it changes our emotions. So super, really quick way if you want to shift your mood. What I'm doing here in the picture is I've just popped a drop of oil on my palms. And I love to do that when I feel like I need a natural pick-me-up, or if I'm feeling a little bit frazzled or scattered or need a little bit of calming. We can also cleanse the air with a diffuser. Okay, so pop a diffuser on, it'll make your home feel amazing, and you can just clean the air with it. Now that we're moving into winter, and we already are in winter and spring, great time to be thinking about stuffy noses and allergies and things like that. Okay, just a note here, quality is absolutely everything when it comes to results and safety. So the brand that I work with, doTERRA, they are independently tested to be 100% pure. There's no contaminants in there, which is actually quite rare for oils. They are also therapeutic grade and have been TGA approved. Okay, so if you want them to be safe and to actually work, it's really important to use the best quality oils that you can find. So we can also use them on the skin. So a great way to use them is actually applying them onto the soles of the feet. So some of you here may have used Vicks in the past, okay, that Vicks Vapor Rub, and you can put it on your feet. And the reason for that is it actually absorbs through the skin, right? It ends up in our bloodstream pretty quickly because our skin is very absorbent. And that is also an important reason to be looking at switching out chemicals as well, because we don't want to be applying them to our skin regularly. It will build up over time. We can also apply them on particular areas of the body depending what's going on. So if we have a headache, you can easily pop some peppermint on your temples and behind the back of your neck. A lot of people in my members group will use oils for eczema. Okay, so that's another good example for any skin irritations, or for sore aches and pains and muscles and things like that. And you can add a liquid coconut oil. That's a good idea to reduce sensitivity, and it also improves the way they absorb. Now, the third way we can use them is internally. And this often surprises people, but I assure you, we have all consumed essential oils before. So if you've ever had peppermint chocolate, okay, if you had like choc mint anything, mint slice, or you know, Lindt peppermint chocolate, or Panna organic chocolate that actually uses doTERRA, you have consumed essential oils, okay? And the food industry is actually the largest user of essential oils as a natural flavoring agent. Just a note though, that not all oils are approved for food use. So doTERRA, the brand I work with, they are approved by Food Safe Australia, and not all plants are edible, all right? So obviously tea tree or, you know, there are certain oils that you cannot eat. The same goes for plants, all right? So please just check the label that it says for flavouring use. Now, they are great to flavour your food with naturally, but they're also great as a supplement if you're using them for specific wellbeing issues, whether it's digestion or you want to support your immune health. But less is more, okay? Don't go overboard with them. A couple of drops is plenty. So let's walk you through an example of a daily routine. Now, this is an example only, okay? It's an example of some things that I like to do, but there are so many different possibilities and it really depends on what your goals are. So what I recommend is beginning with one and then building on from there. Okay, so as I'm going through this, you might want to reflect on your day and think about where those sticking points are. Is it in the morning, like maybe you have trouble getting out of bed? Is it in the evenings where you just can't switch off at night time? Okay, so I would start with there and then build things up. And there is no need to remember anything, all right? I know there's a lot of info here, but you're going to receive plenty of support later on. I just want to show you the possibilities that these create for you. All right, so let's begin our day. So going right back to the beginning when we're waking up. All right, now this is a perfect time to be using balance oil, which is our grounding blend. Often, like when we wake up, we've kind of got two choices. We can just get up and rush into our day on autopilot and let whatever comes our way affect how we feel. Or we can consciously choose how we want to feel and the mindset that we want to have that day, all right? And ever since I started doing this, it's been a real game changer for my days. So you can use balance as a tool in like a gratitude or a mindfulness practice. So what I personally love to do is I love to use a drop of balance and then do a little bit of a mini meditation. Okay, I love to use the Insight Timer app. There's some great ones on there for getting in a positive mindset and just helping you to tune into yourself. But this is going to look different for everybody. So let me give you some examples. You might like to write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Or you might like to write down what your intention is that day. Okay, maybe you want to be calm or you want to create a certain type of day for yourself. Maybe you have a goal that day. Or you could say some affirmations to yourself. All right, whatever it is, it's just a good way to connect to yourself and how you want your day to look. And what I found is that when I do this in the mornings, I'm just a lot less triggered by those little things that come up, and I'm able to better cope when things come my way. Now, so this is a good one to keep next to your bed to start your day really calm and grounded. You can inhale it upon waking. You can roll it on your pulse points or apply it to the soles of the feet. Okay, so we're getting up now, feeling really calm and centered, and we're moving into the kitchen or whatever you might do in the morning to start our day. This is the perfect time to be diffusing orange oil. All right, this is a beautiful one. Everyone tends to love it. It's a happy oil. We think of it as a happy oil here. So this is one you can improve everybody's mood with and just feel really like uplifted, create a really cheerful space. Because it is a citrus oil, it's a great one to freshen the air with, all right? So we'll make your home smell amazing or clean the air, and it's also very cleansing to the body. So what I love to do, I love to put it into my water bottle, a couple of drops, and you'll find it gets your digestive system going. And importantly, it actually makes your water taste great. So you'll want to drink a lot more water. And that's a good example about how this can make it easier to practice those habits, like not drinking enough water. Okay, and so speaking of drinking enough water, I'm going to have a little drink. Okay, so now we're making lunches for the day. Okay, and this is a perfect opportunity to support our immune health, not just with the foods that we're choosing, but we can also make them even more powerful. So we all know that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. What we can do with On Guard is we can chop up that apple and put it in a bowl of water and then put 1 drop of On Guard in that bowl, swish it around and leave it for a few minutes. And then when we take those apples out, they're going to be a really great immune protective snack. Okay, and so that oil actually makes the apple taste yummy and cinnamony, kind of think like chai spices. And it stops the browning because it's got they contain antioxidants, and it will also help support the immune system. Now, we love to also use this oil in our hand sanitizer sprays. What I love about it is it doesn't dry your hands out like some of those harsh ones do. Our boys actually roll this on the soles of their feet before they go to school. We can add it to smoothies or use it in a diffuser. There's so many different uses for it. Okay, so now we've packed lunch boxes, the kids are off to school, and it's time to start our day, all right? And this is a great time where we want to get energized and focused. So, or maybe you are going to the gym, or maybe you're starting work. So this is when you can use peppermint. So what you do, a drop on your temples, back of the neck, inhale it, or you can even actually take a drop with your thumb and put it on the roof of your mouth, all right? And it will just wake everything up. Now, this has been approved by the TGA for cognitive and mental function, so you don't just need to take my word for it. They've got very strict standards, okay? So we know if they've approved it for this, it definitely works. This is also a great one to use in the afternoon. If you're feeling like you're just wanting sugars all the time, this is a really good one to get on top of that as well, and just kind of smell it before the craving kicks in. And we can use it for headaches as well as digestion. So as I said, lots of uses. You don't need to remember it because I will give you a little recipe book that you can, it gives you all of this info. Okay. Then we can use in the evening, we've done our days, and maybe now we're feeling a little bit tight and wound up and we just need to unwind. So this is the perfect one to do that with, the aroma touch. All right. So ways I love to use it, I love to put it in some Epsom salts in the bath, or you can give yourself a massage, or if you're lucky enough to get a massage. I'll be honest, I don't get much time for baths these days, but if I do, it's definitely one that I love to add in there. Okay, and it smells amazing. Lots of massage practices and you know, clinics will use this one too. And it really gets everything flowing and moving in the body. All right, so it's the end of our day, and now we want to get some good rest, okay, whether it's ourselves or our kids. So we all know lavender is a calming oil, and studies actually show that it reduces cortisol. So this is a great one to just calm your nervous system and your mind when you're getting ready for bed. All right, lots of different ways you can use this. You can spray your pillow with it, you can diffuse it, you can roll it onto the pulse points, inhale it from your palms. And it's actually amazing for the skin as well. So it's a good one to include in your nighttime routine and just put it on your face. I actually even have a number in our members group. We've got about 500 women in there. There are some in there that are counsellors, and they diffuse this oil in their practice so that when their clients come to see them, you know, obviously for some people it can be very nerve-wracking going somewhere like that. They just sort of walk in there, and one of them has said to me, they just see they feel instantly calm. They just sort of walk in, they're like, oh, just feels, it's a beautiful way to create a calming space. Okay, so that was a lot of info. So let's recap and bring that all together. Okay, so we're beginning our day feeling really calm and centered. We can then create a really happy vibe in the home by popping wild orange on. Then if you want to support your immune health, On Guard is a great one to add into your snack box and to add into your smoothies or roll on the soles of the feet. Once we get started for our day, okay, we've got the morning rush out the way, we're getting stuck into work, that's when you want to be using peppermint. Okay, pop it in a diffuser with some wild orange, and that will just help you stay on track. We can then at the end of the day, if we want to unwind and we're feeling really tense, we can just relax those muscles with Aroma Touch. And then at the end of the day, lavender is the one that will help us sleep more deeply. So I'd love you to think about which habit will you start with. Okay, so I suggest starting with one priority where your sticking point is in the day, and then building on from there. Now, if you are an existing member and you have oils already, what I recommend is actually keeping the oils where you're going to use them. right? Because it's going to be a lot easier for you that way. So I keep Balance and lavender in the bedroom next to my bed. I keep On Guard in the medicine cabinet. I keep peppermint in the study. Aroma Touch is a great one for the bathroom. All right, so just think about where you might use these and put them in those areas so you can see them. All right, so as I mentioned, we've got about 500 women in our members group, and we're constantly getting really great feedback and testimonials, and I just wanted to share one of them with you. So this was a lady that joined, and I believe it was because she wasn't sleeping very well. And I think it's a good example about how it's had a follow-on ripple effect for her as well. All right, so she said she can't believe the change that they're making for her. She's having better sleep, skin, energy, motivation, and brain fog. Now, this last point here, it's not something that we're actively encouraging in our group. Okay, please speak to your doctor if you're, if you're on medications. But I think what it shows is how powerful these oils can be and what an effect that they can actually have. Okay, so let's talk about how to get started for those of you that are new here. Now, so most people start with a starter kit because what it means is that then you're going to have tools at your fingertips for better sleep, or no matter what actually comes up. Okay, it's the most cost-effective way of getting started, and you're going to get the most benefit out of it. So what also is included in the starter kit is it gives you 25 to 55% off for 12 months, right? So that alone is worth $35. And you're definitely going to want that because you actually get access to a whole other heap of things. So I want you to think of this as a start of a wellness journey. It's not just about buying a box of oils, all right? What you're actually getting is access to our wellness tribe. You're getting online support and education in our group. You're getting lots of inspiration. You also receive a consult from me, which is really geared to your specific needs. And you receive a recipe booklet as well, okay? And what's more important is you go at your own pace. So if you're not ready for all of that, that's totally okay. We are here when you are ready to dive in. Now, so this is the first starter kit, and this is the one that actually includes all of the oils that we've talked about today. This is the Aroma Touch kit. It includes your calming ones, it includes your uplifting oils, it includes the ones that are going to get you through winter, as well as the two for just easing all those aches and pains at the end of the day as well. We've got the Family Essentials kit, which is only $174, and it includes 5 ml bottles of the top 10 most popular oils. This is really popular as well. It does include many of the ones that we mentioned, but as well as some other ones too. Or you can choose a kit for your needs. So there's something for everybody. So if bedtime is your priority, you'll love the bedtime bliss box. If you're wanting something to prepare yourself for winter, the seasonal essentials box is amazing, and so on, okay? Now, I wanted to encourage you guys to be proactive, because sometimes we can overthink these things and then we're missing out on how, I guess, potential benefits that we can have. So for everybody that jumps in and decides to get started before Monday the 21st, you also receive a complimentary goodie bag. So you receive a recipe book, you get 4 samples of the mood management kit. You also receive some other product samples, some empty rollers to use with your oils. You get a bonus mystery oil from me, as well as that personal consult that I mentioned. And you're going to find this will make all the difference for you, because you'll be able to ask specific questions. We can create a plan together that is customized to what your specific priorities are. Okay, so what happens from here? So this is the start of a conversation. Okay, you've probably got a lot of questions, maybe you're wanting to find out a little bit more, or maybe you are ready to choose, you're ready to jump in and you know which kit you already want. Okay, so I'm here to help you. So what happens from here is that you just need to email me. So pop me an email at hello@thenaturalswitch.com.au after the session. And then we'll go from there, and I can find out a little bit more about you and what your goals are, and we can customize something for you, or you can grab one of those kits as well. Okay, so I wanted to thank you so much for coming. I hope you have found this helpful. I hope it has inspired you to reflect on your day and where you can make some tweaks, okay? Because as I said, feeling good actually just begins with those little things that we're doing during our day, and those small changes can make a huge difference to our day. So thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to hear from you soon.